being white supremacy in arguing for there being always a right or wrong answer in math. I'll tell you the truth, it's hard for me to get into my head. This is beyond, it's not, well, it's the end of 1984, right, where they have Winston saying 2 + 2 = 5. But that's not because of ethno-mathematics. That is because they have finally gotten him to say what the left wants him to say in a totalitarian state, which we are approaching. We're not there. I want to make that clear. But leftists are totalitarian. Liberals are not. But liberals vote for totalitarian, so they're largely useless. Sweetest people in many instances, people I adore personally. But on the macro issues, they're useless because they don't vote. They vote pure heart. The right is bad. The left is not as bad. Anyway, they don't even know this. The number of people, liberal or left, who know what I read to you now about the Oregon Department of Education, I don't believe 1% of liberals and leftists know this. They are kept away from the left-wing destruction of the country, so they don't know about it. They can't. That's why they can't understand us. What animates you folks on the right? An awareness of what the left is doing that you do not have. Evidence? Watch on YouTube when I was on Bill Maher's show a year and a half ago, a couple of months before the lockdowns. And I spoke about the left saying that men menstruate. The guy couldn't stop laughing at me, not with me, and I respect him for having me on. I want to make that clear. And the audience just couldn't stop laughing. What a joke. Where did Prager come up with this nonsense that the left says men menstruate? And that is a perfect example of they don't know how bad the left is, including many who are on the left. How does this pass muster? How do you explain any teacher who can tell a class without thinking they are ruining their lives? There isn't one right answer in math. You can come up with your own answer. Now, the charge that the idea of objective truth is white supremacy, which is what they charge. They charge this a lot, not just in Oregon. There's an irony here, because the Ku Klux Klan would agree with them. Yep, whites believe in truth, non-whites don't. The left agrees with that, and the right, not the right, nobody on the right agrees with that, and the Ku Klux Klan. What will it take for you to get your kids out of school? I don't think I could persuade you. I think I persuade some, obviously. But most people listening who respect me will still not take their kids out of a regular school. Regular meaning private as well as public. And either put them in a school that does teach truth, that believes in objective truth, or homeschool them. I can't report anything worse than drag queen story hour and ethno-mathematics. So if that doesn't persuade you to take your kid out of school, what if I told you that, spoiler alert, I'm making this up, but what if they taught your kid, if your parents are Republican or conservative, they are the enemy of society. Now, they basically do teach that, but they don't say your parents. But if they did teach that, would you then think, I got to take my kid out? But then all you need to understand is that is the inference that your kid is expected to draw from the indoctrination that he or she receives at school. All right, let me see. There was I wanted to take Sacramento, California. Courtney, hello.
Hi, Dennis. Thanks for taking my call. If I could just add a little bit to this math conversation. So I have been doing some research about this. No one will be surprised that obviously this is also happening in California. What I found most alarming and that parents should be aware of is that there's a website called Equitable Math. They also say that showing your work is an example of white supremacy.
Right, I read that. Go ahead.
The partners of this are Lawrence Hall of Science at UC Berkeley, the people who are partnering with the groups that are pushing this kind of curriculum. Los Angeles County Office of Education, Sacramento County Office of Education, San Diego Office of Education. This is going to show up in classrooms. And if parents think that it is right-wing loony conspiracy, the people who write our textbooks that is adopted in states that schools are allowed to use, these are the very people who are funding this equitable math.
Yes, God bless you. You're a kindred spirit. This has nothing to do with conspiracy theory. It's a fact. I read to you from their words, not from Fox's. The office of the Oregon Department of Education, and it comes from California.